Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi LIVENODING. In this episode, I'm gonna show you a way you can kind of control Blender interface using scripting and also noding. Okay, so for this example, I will be using image editor, and let's create a new image. And I'm gonna paint on this image, so I'm gonna switch to paint. And we know, okay, we have a lot of control with the paint brush, right? By default, it's gonna be white color. You can change this manually. And one fact is that, of course, you can use script and change the color that way. So I'm gonna show you. We can use Python's console, and the very basic is that we need to be able to access this area, the color, using script. This is the secondary color, so this is the first color. If you right click on this and then get the full data path and then paste it here, we can actually access the color. Let's say make this color 100. Okay, it's going to be a red color, right? So we have red color. If we change this to 010, it's going to be green color. So I want to have ability to change the color like more automatic, or turn it into a command or something. So let me save this very quickly. Save this on the desktop. Color change. I actually use Meta AI for I've been experimenting with Meta AI for a few days. You can apparently ask something like this: can you make Blender script that replace the color randomly on every frame changes? And the script is apparently quite simple. Let me just copy this. And Meta AI is actually pretty good with Blender scripting. So this is actually part of learning. So BPY apps handlers for every frame change append these functions called frame change color. If I run this, every time I change the frame, I should actually get a color changes, unless I made a mistake. What is it called? Oh, BPY data brushes text draw color. All right, that's interesting. It's just a different setting from what I had before. But anyhow, let's run this. Okay, now the color is changing whenever I change the brush color, right? So we need to like keep clicking in order for it to change color. But this is quite a progress, right? Another way to do this, if actually I tried different command, like I want to put the script into a function or something, so we don't rely on the frame changes. How do I do that? I actually asked Meta. I think the last one does the job. Put the function under image editor, paint mode, image menu. So I copy that, create. So we're gonna, so far we are just copy pasting, right? We did ask the AI, but the thing is, so it's created these functions under this menu, so it's just appended. I think the paint color thing is not exactly correct here with the data, so I just need to change this manually. So it was working before. I don't know why it changed from this unified paint setting color into this brushes text draw. I don't know. let's just append this. So we have this now, and indeed this one, the third one, actually changed the color. This one, add to quick favorites. So every time I go Q and then change color, it's gonna change my color randomly. Okay, so I thought that's kind of cool. In fact, in the past, I've been using Sverchok nodes also able to do this in the strange kind of way. So that let me try to think. Okay, object. Object filter and object ID selector. I think this should work. I just need to think first. Object. In this case, it's the brushes, right? DPOI data brushes, and then the name is text draw, and then we're gonna access the color. The second color is secondary color of the text draw. So we need to get we need to filter out by name, text draw, get the brushes, and then object ID set. So we have our object. We want to change the color. The value should be some kind of color. Okay, so this apparently works. We can now remote control these brushes using Sverchok, which is cool. So we can use color in, and the color in can be any color. I just turn off the alpha, so it's just need the RGB. So we can also use HSV, turn this value into maximum, or actually, in fact, this hue can be controlled using Sverchok, and the saturations also, and then the V value. So now, time using time frame info, we can play around with this. Maybe multiply this value with a small number. So now it's gonna, the color will rotate. So it's, while we are painting. So I thought this ability to draw different color every time we put a stroke is kind of useful. Similar to face set, I think. And then you can perform this inside sculpt mode, and also we are currently painting here, right? But you can always paint this in 3D as well. So not just here. If you go to 3D, I wonder if this works instantly or not. So we have Suzanne. If we go to paint mode, text paint, okay. We need to go to paint mode first of all. Texture paint using the text draw brush. Okay, the brush is changing color every time. We just need to give it a texture, base color. Yeah, I think in the 3D mode, as you can see, it's kind of interesting because the color is indeed changing every frame, and because it's also real time. That's why we get this rainbowy color that's changing and then projecting it into Suzanne on every frame. I thought this is kind of cool. I just want to show it to you. This actually being controlled by Sverchok, right? And I'm using Blender 3.6 this is where Sverchok kind of excel. With the latest 4.1, Sverchok can work, but not on the Mac OS ARM at the moment. So, but anyhow, I think it's a lot of fun to be able to do this. You know, like maybe have a number just random. If you want to do super random number, randomize the seed on every frame, plug this into the hue. Now we get something that's a little bit more random, right, on every frame. It's just pretty amazing to be able to do this on the fly. Okay. So hopefully you find this useful. It's pretty simple, pretty basic, but I'm showing it to you anyway. So the Sverchok nodes visually able to control anything, any attributes in Blender, whether it's just random attributes that you can grab from object ID selector, or you can also use the node remote. This one actually works with geometry nodes, so I might make another video for that. But yeah, with scripting, Blender Python scripting, and with Sverchok nodes, you can control any attributes. And I think Meta AI somewhat it's been trained with Blender, so it's quite powerful. Just give it a try, modify your script, and then let's see. And you can learn and make changes on that. You know, like make menu and then, you know, change the color that way. That's kind of cool, right? But you can also use Sverchok. Just randomize the color. Just very basic. But hopefully you'll find this useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.